Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of my Icelandic tour. Now, in front of you, you can see a lovely plane, but we're not going to talk about that straight away. What I'm going to talk about to start with is what is going to go on over the next few weeks. Essentially, I am going to be touring Iceland. I came up with a route that covers basically the entire island. It's all going to be VFR with a little bit of NDB use where possible. It's going to last for the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, and yeah, it should be exciting. I have generated ortho for the entire island with the correct elevation data. Unfortunately, if you generate ortho using ortho for XP for Iceland, you don't actually get any elevation, but I have successfully found a way to do it. So we've got lovely ZL17 ortho everywhere, with 18 around the ICAO airports. And every airport we're going to be flying to in this route is ICAO, so we are going to have some really nice scenery to look at on the way. Now, as for the route, we are going to be travelling around the island in a sort of clockwise fashion until we reach the most easterly point, where we're going to come straight back across the island to almost the most westerly point. Then we will go around the island clockwise again, following the coast until we get to the northeastern side, where we'll jump back down towards the bottom and go clockwise up and back down again. So you can see that with the arrows on the image, and I'll just pop up the legs now so that you can have a look at them. So you can see we've got 18 legs that we're going to do in this series. I'm going to do 2, maybe 3 a week, depends on how short the flights. You can see that some of them are quite short and some of them are fairly long. So some of them, sometimes there will be 2 or 3 videos a week, sometimes there'll just be 2. It depends on the route. Obviously the routes that go east to west and north to south are quite long. They will take a little bit longer to fly, so we'll probably only do 2 videos those weeks. Now, the plane, let's have a look. So this is the REP pack by Simcoders. So this is the default C172. I haven't done anything to this apart from add on the REP pack. Now the nice thing about the REP pack is that it's a much better flight model than the standard version, and it also allows us to manage the maintenance of the aircraft. So you can see I've pulled 2 hours 11 in here in total, and we are going to have to actually manage our fuel and manage our maintenance as we fly around the airport. I've already been flying, like I said, so we have performed some repairs. I also earned some money just from some very short hops that we did as well. Now, this is just going to add a little bit of extra realism because we're going to be able to manage our plane as we do the tour, rather than just every single time it's perfect, which is a bit unrealistic. This is a really, really nice model, and I have moved to 11.5, so of course the C172 looks better, as does everything else. Everything looks absolutely fantastic now, which is just phenomenal, really. Of course, with this as well, we've also got some statics that you can see, so we have to actually do a walk around and do a check of everything before we do any flights, which is a nice thing that we actually have to do that before the flights. We probably won't do it on every single one. It might get a little bit monotonous, but yeah. Let me know what you think. If you're using the REP pack and you've got any tips for me, give me a shout. I will confess that I'm not the most confident when it comes to VFR flying, or flying with planes like this, which is why I've done a few practice flights. There are things which I don't know, things that I'm going to get wrong, especially to do with the GPS system. I'm not that confident with the GPS. I'm used to airliners with a nice FMC in there, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me, a bit of a learning curve. If anybody has any facts or any tips that they can give me, I will be very grateful. So just leave them in the comments. As I said, the way I'm going to release the videos and record them means that if you leave a comment, I might not read it until 2 flights later, or I might not be able to put it into practice until 2 flights later, but I will most definitely put it into practice if it's something that I should definitely be doing. Now, there is a file available. I'm not sure yet where I'm going to put it. So for now, I won't say whether it's Dropbox or Google Drive, but it will be one of the two. This file has been put together by a friend of mine. We're going to do a shout out to him afterwards. But for now, I'm just going to give you a few facts about the lovely country of Iceland. And this is actually a place I've been to. I only stayed around the Golden Circle, which is the sort of southwest corner of the island. There's so many things to do around there that a week and a half passes very quickly. But let's just run through a couple of facts about the island, give you a bit of an idea about where we're going to be going. So, it was discovered by an early explorer in the 9th century, and he named it the Land of Ice because there was a drift of ice. Settled later by Norwegian and Celtic immigrants, and it has the world's oldest functioning legislative assembly, which was established in 930 AD. It's been independent for over 300 years, and it was granted limited home rule in 1874. So it is still under Danish rule, but it has its independence. It is the westernmost European country, located between Greenland and Europe, and it's approximately 5-hour flight from New York and a 3-hour flight from London. This is very obvious when you're there, actually, because there are a lot of American people there, a lot of American military as well. During World War II, it was a very strategic point for the Americans with their support to the Allied troops. It has more land covered by glaciers than in the whole of continental Europe. A nice fact for you. So, population of Iceland, roughly 355,000, and around 9% of those are foreign nationals. It has, let me just find the number, half of the population is located in and around the capital of Reykjavik. So there's a lot of people in that city and not very many on the outskirts. So most of the places we're actually going to travel to don't have very many people there. A lot of the people who live in the outskirts live there because there's industry, particular types of industry. So there's a town in that area to help with the industry. They speak Icelandic, which is a North Germanic language derived from Old Norse, and it says in the fact sheet, as you'll see, it's changed relatively little throughout the centuries. That is completely correct. They can still read and write in the language that the original settlers actually wrote in. They can still understand it. It's almost identical, which is amazing, really, when you think of a language like English, German, Spanish, French. It's changed so many times during the centuries, so it's quite amazing. It is a predominantly Lutheran country, and the economy is based primarily on manufacturing and services, but tourism, software and biotechnology have become quite popular in recent years, they also have abundant geothermal and hydropower sources, which means everyone in Iceland gets free water. Or everyone in Reykjavik gets free water. In the outer parts, it's not free for everyone. When I was there, I was told that the majority of people get free hot water and free gas, because it comes from geothermal, so it doesn't cost anything, which is amazing. The entire island is run on geothermal, pretty much. However, it does mean when you have a shower, there is a strong smell of sulphur, which is like rotten eggs. It's something you have to get used to be honest. They use the krona, which it has a very low denomination. You can take a lot of money with you to Iceland without realising it, what you're taking. And it says here, geographic area, 103,000 square kilometres, and the land mass is 100,250 square kilometres. It has a mean elevation of 557 metres, with the highest point being 2,110 metres, which is, I'm going to terribly pronounce this now, Vatnajökull Glacier. Yeah, I'm not going to be very good at pronouncing a lot of these places we go to. Yeah, so there's a couple of facts about the island. I did read them off of the fact sheet fairly. I didn't change much of the wording, but that's because the person who made this did an outstanding job. Now, the other things to talk about, you will have seen on the itinerary there was a region note. That's because the regions of Iceland, Iceland, the island, is divided into 7 regions. They are south, east, north, the West Fjords, West Iceland, Reykjanes, and Reykjavik. So those are the 7 regions they have, and we're going to be flying in and around a lot of them. Now, moving on to the final part of this, which is to talk about the wonderful man who put all of these graphics and this fact sheet together. That is my good friend Bill. He's done an absolutely amazing job. So any comments you leave, please say thank you to Bill, and I'll be sure to pass them on to him. He's done a really amazing job with this fact sheet. I thought he was going to give me 1 or 2 pages, and instead he gave me 14. It's just phenomenal, and there's so much in here. So feel free to fly along with me. Like I said, any comments, any tips, anything like that, please do let me know, and I will try and use them. I'm a bit of a novice with this type of aircraft, so yeah, I'm going to need some help. But for now, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon for the actual first flight. Bye bye.